And I want you to ask yourself these questions. What do you want from your life right now? What is it that you actually thrive? What do you desire every single day to turn your life into or become? Losing your identity, losing your voice, becoming midlife. What does it really mean to you? Because I'm about to share something with you that I never thought I'd say on social media. Never thought I'd bring it to a podcast, but I kind of feel like I need to address something first to get this out of my system. It's been over a year since I last put out a podcast. And the reason being is because, truth be told, I got to a point where I kind of lost my voice in the whole fitness industry, in the fitness space. I got to a point where understanding who I was as a person was being internally questioned by me again. And what I really want to help you understand is, especially in this episode, is that it's okay to go through these times of self-discovery again, trying to figure out who you are and who you get to become, even reinvent the wheel for yourself. I've kind of gone through numerous phases over my life where I've reinvented the version of who I am. And I started doing BBC Radio, a weekly show called The Circle of Men, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. And I started doing that last year. I've been doing that for 18 months. And I think a lot of that, because I got to speak nationally on the radio, it took away the reasons as to why I put this podcast out here to begin with. And the reason why I put this podcast out is simply because I've experienced a lot in my life that I know could help somebody else. If I verbalize what it is, the lessons that I've learned, that you get to take away and learn something from them too. But when you go through a phase in your life, turning 40 was a big deal for me. Turning 40, it kind of hurt because I started to question everything that I'd done in the sense of personal development, self-discovery, just building a discipline and a resilience in myself over those 10 years from 30 to 40, going through my mental health breakdown. So if you know my story, you'll know that I went through quite a significant change in life when I was 28. Spent 4 years battling with mental health and just trying to regain a sense of purpose and a sense of self, and rediscovering myself as I went through that process. Used that for very many years in discovery, helping people, helping understand myself, bettering personal performance, and all these other elements that just make quality of life 10 times better for me and others that I've coached along the way. But I turned 40, it's going to be 3 years ago this year, turned 40, and I started to question a lot. I started to get this feeling, this sense of lack of understanding of who I was as an individual. And you may start to discover this yourself too if you're getting to that midlife stage and you're questioning a lot of things. I guess a lot of people would call this the midlife crisis, but it wasn't really a midlife crisis. It was just a midlife rediscovery. And I think actually, you know what? I might call this podcast that, because this whole process for me has been a rediscovery as to why do I want to do this? Why am I here today giving you this piece of information that's going to help you move forwards through my learning? The reason why I said I'd do this podcast close to 160 episodes ago was genuinely because I've gone through a lot that can help other people. So why should you have to suffer trying to understand and figure out those processes when I can give you something too that's going to 10x, that's going to speed up, it's going to get you from being stuck to being unstuck? Is it a way for me to try and leverage anything from you? Absolutely not. I've got coaching programs, I've got other resources, I've got downloads that people can get in touch with, they can use, they can work their way either with me or via me, but they can work their way forward. The reason why I said I would do this is because I said I would deliver a piece of information on a weekly basis that can help somebody, one person, that's all I'm looking for, one person, to help them move forwards through something that I've experienced personally that can help them hopefully either overcome or exceed the struggle that they're stuck in. I turned 43 years ago, questioned a lot, fell out with social media, didn't really want to post, didn't really want to engage. And I started to look at the industry and the landscape as a whole, and it felt uncomfortable to be in that place. Something that I'd spent 10, 11, 12, 13 years. Actually, it was 13 years of building something really, really positive, a movement that was helping people rediscover who they are as a person and kind of lock into that process of bettering themselves along the way. Do I feel like I was a fraud? Possibly. But a lot of that was simply because I'd kind of lost who I was, which didn't give me the confidence to back what it was that I could put out. And then I was asked to do BBC Radio, The Circle of Men, 8 p.m. on a Wednesday, just a quick one. I was asked to do BBC Radio February of 2024. And being a part of that show gave me a sense of purpose, because I was able to speak to people nationally on the radio, topics and conversations with regards to how mental health is impacting everybody, but specifically men as well. This gave me a reason to talk about topics, but it took away the reason why I wanted to make the podcast. But what I have learned over this 18 months is that some of the things that I can share, I can't share in a public setting, let's say. This is a conversation between me and you listening right now, and what you can actually use this information to help you move forwards with. So what I want to leave you with today is a sense of thought that if you're close to that midlife transition where you're feeling the change of what happens through midlife, maybe you become time aware. I did. Maybe you become self-aware. I did. Maybe you become a little bit obstructed in the way that you want to try and create a version of life that you want to be able to live. That obstruction is the thing that's going to derail you completely. You will question absolutely everything about what you know, how you feel, what you understand, what you want to achieve. And you become a little bit confused. You become pulled in one direction and you feel compelled to be pushed in another. It becomes a very confusing period. Turning midlife, let's say, not just 40, but it's kind of turning just that midlife on, that midlife period, it becomes a very confusing state of being. It becomes a very confusing state of thought. And you will question a lot. So here's my encouragement for you. It's okay to rediscover who you are. It's okay to even feel like you need to re-implement some of those things that you said that you wanted to do at the very, very beginning of. Maybe you've gone through a health journey, or you've gone through a transformation, or you've gone through a rediscovery phase in your life already. I'm a person that's worked with very big business owners. I'm a person that's worked with very successful professional practice stroke health people, as in GPs, etc., surgeons. I'm somebody that's worked with very high level people, but I'm also somebody that's worked with everyday people that have gone through the same as what I've gone through. I'm a person that changes people's performance. I'm a person that helps people rediscover what their sense of purpose in life is supposed to be. What I can't do is serve my purpose in silence. And this is something that I discovered very, very recently, re-exploring this level of self-confidence that I felt like I'd lost along the way. It got to a point where I was questioning everything about what it was that I was thinking and feeling. And you'll do the same. You'll question relationships, you'll question connection, you'll question your ability, you'll question time, you'll have all these pulled emotions pulling and pushing you in different directions, uprooting that sense of self. And it will just make you feel so pulled in so many directions that you will start to say, where do I start and where do I end and who am I to begin with? Because everything that I feel like I am, I'm now questioning. I did. And I've done this for a while. And I've gone through, I would say, 2 previous versions of self-discovery. I went through my breakdown, rediscovered who I was, found a sense of purpose, started helping hundreds and thousands of people along the way. And as you can tell, that puts a smile on my face, because knowing that somebody else can benefit and progress through something that I've been through personally that helps them move forwards, you can't put a price on that sense of feeling. You cannot put a level of achievement on what it feels like to see somebody else absolutely turn their life into an elite way of living. It's a reward that it's unexplainable. But I can't do that if I don't find that sense of self that I know that I have that helps you move forwards. So I've spent the version 3, let's say, of me trying to figure this whole process out. I've spent that time over the past 18 months, 2 years, rediscovering who I am as a person. Things have changed. I've grown. I've got a deeper understanding. I've got a better connection of what I want to achieve and who I want to be. But all that sounds like it's about me. So I'm going to turn it around and it's about you right now. And I want you to ask yourself these questions. What do you want from your life right now? What is it that you actually thrive? What do you desire every single day to turn your life into or become? Because there is something, there's a sense of vision, there's a thought that you have, that you're sat there and you know that life could be like this. Life is this in the future. But what do you need to do to get there? What needs to change? What do you feel like is missing from what's going on in life right now? What's going to help you take that step forwards to rediscover what it is to feel like your sense of self is being reconnected with, and you just haven't uprooted this whole midlife experience and kind of thrown it into a blender and just figuring out what it is to just move through life. That's not living. That isn't living. That's just existing. What I want to encourage you to do is live. Existing will mean that for the next 10 years, you will be in this thought process of lack of confidence, lack of self-belief, lack of self-understanding. Your health will massively deteriorate physically and mentally. You will then become that 50-year-old that most people look at and go, what went wrong? Or why didn't you look after yourself better? And you'll just naturally start to gravitate towards this belief that you're not deserving, you're not understanding of, you don't feel like, because there is so much when you get to midlife to consider. Some people will focus on goals and what they're working towards moving forwards. Others will have this overwhelming, this overbearing sense of self-doubt that maybe they're not going to achieve what they want to achieve with their life. They will lose themselves along the way. I was probably one of those people. I got to a point where I became very aware of time, what it was that I wanted to achieve. How was I actually impacting a person's life? To me, one of the things that drives me every single day to wake up is, whose life can I impact today? With what it is that I've experienced, with what it is that I've studied, with what it is that I know, with the education that I've got, what can I give to somebody today that changes their life? If this is a reminder for you right now, maybe you're turning midlife, maybe you're turning 40, maybe you're in your mid-40s, 50s, and you're at a point where you're asking yourself, is there more? Is there more than what I should be doing? Is there more to life that I could be experiencing? Is the quality of my life where I want it to be? Chances are, if you're questioning it, it's not. And if it is, then awesome, you've done a fantastic job of getting to where you are, but what do you want next? What's this moving you forwards towards? Look at the reverse engineering process of what it is that you want to achieve. What are you going to sit there on your last breath and say, I did X, Y, and Z, and I was proud of that? If there is something that you feel like you are missing in life right now, my encouragement is that you go and do it. You seek that out and you go and you push and you make sure that you achieve what it is that you want to be able to achieve. Whether that's being fit and healthy, whether that's achieving a career path, whether that's being in a relationship, or whether it's having it all. Whatever it may be, you've got the capability. And if you're listening to this channel, this social media, this platform, my promise to you right now is that I will guarantee to show up for you if you show up for yourself, but just let me know somewhere along the way that something that I've helped you with, it's impacted your life in a way. All I want to know is that it's impacted your life in a way, and I know that I've got the permission to keep pushing you forwards through content that I can give you. So my self-discovery was me rediscovering why I wanted to do this podcast to begin with. It was difficult. It was heartbreaking to say that I'd lost the love to be able to want to share. But slowly rediscovering myself has given me it's given me the permission to say that I'm good with wearing my heart on my sleeve. And you'll see a version of me that I've been suppressing for a very long time now, because I've kind of wanted to protect this version of what it is that I've become, in fear that I might lose it again. Because it's taken a lot of work to rediscover who I am as a person. This is the version 3 of me, third time round. What version are you on? Where are you right now? What is it that you're focusing on that's going to drive you forwards and create success in all areas of the life that you want to be able to achieve? Does the quality of your life live up to the standards of what you're asking it to? If it doesn't, let's do something about it. If it doesn't, stick this podcast on notification. Join me every single week. Join me on the radio. Join me in social media. You can find me on all platforms at Coach Andy James. Every single one of them, you will find me there with regards to what I can give, what I can support, and what I can do for you to help you move forwards. My purpose in rediscovering me, and this is my statement to just give myself the permission to be able to do this again, is to be here for you in those moments of time when you need it most, because you don't know where to turn. And that right there, this is me rediscovering something myself. When I didn't know where to turn, I had nobody to answer these questions. There's a world out there of people that have been through a lot of stuff in the past 10, 15 years with social media, with the access that people have now. My permission is, so long as you do something with it, I'll keep bringing it. But you just need to let me know that you're doing something with it, whether that's working with me, whether that's joining a program, whether that's sharing on social media, whatever it may be. Just show me that you do something with what I can give you, and that will give me the permission to keep making those things, those hurdles become less of an obstacle, and it will help you move forwards too. So I will see you in next week's podcast. You have an awesome week. Take care, and link up with me on social media somewhere. I'm everywhere at Coach Andy James. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.